Anderson Cooper, AC 360, CNN weeknights 10 Eastern.
Just hours ago, the British medical journal BMJ did something extremely rare for a scientific journal. It accused a researcher, Andrew Wakefield, of outright fraud. Now, Wakefield is not just any researcher. His 1998 study on autism and childhood vaccines literally changed the way many parents think about vaccines. The study was based on just 12 children. That's right, 12 children. But many parents, desperate for answers around the world, embraced Wakefield's claim that he'd found a link between autism and the vaccine for measles, mumps, and rubella. Celebrity Jenny McCarthy, for instance, a vocal autism activist whose son was diagnosed with the disorder, has helped spread the message using Wakefield's research as ammunition.
Without a doubt in my mind, I believe vaccinations triggered Evan's autism.
You know, environmental toxins play a role. Viruses play a role. Those are all triggers. But vaccines play the largest role right now, and something needs to be done.
We are in a very intelligent group of people that understand that vaccines save lives. But we're also saying that vaccines are sometimes harmful to some kids.
Well, lawmakers also latched onto the research. Here's Congressman Dan Burden, who believes his grandson's autism was caused by vaccines.
We've had leading scientists from around the world come and testify before my committee who are certain that one of the major causes of autism is the mercury in the vaccination.
For the record, the mercury-based preservative he's talking about was removed from most childhood vaccines in 2001, yet autism rates have continued to climb. Representative Burden made those remarks in 2008. And by then, Wakefield's study, which was first published in The Lancet in 1998, had come under heavy fire in the scientific community. In 2004, 10 of Wakefield's 12 co-authors removed their names from the paper. Last year, The Lancet retracted the study, citing numerous problems with its methods, as well as ethical missteps and financial conflicts of interest. A few months later, Wakefield lost his license to practice medicine in the UK. It was taken away from him. And now tonight, the medical journal BMJ is calling his study more than just bad science. Its editors say it is, quote, an elaborate fraud that has done long-lasting damage to the public's health. They're talking about the fact that a lot of parents stopped vaccinating their kids after Wakefield's study came out, both in England and in the United States. In recent years, there have been measles outbreaks in California, Illinois, New York, Wisconsin. Last year in California, there were more cases of whooping cough than in any year since 1947. 10 children died, 10 infants. But Andrew Wakefield hasn't lost his loyal following, even though his study has been debunked, even after he's lost his medical license. On the contrary, his supporters see him as a victim. In a statement last February, Jenny McCarthy and actor Jim Carrey said, and I quote, "It is our most sincere belief that Dr. Wakefield and parents of children with autism around the world are being subjected to a remarkable media campaign engineered by vaccine manufacturers. Dr. Wakefield is being vilified through a well-orchestrated smear campaign." And here's what Congressman Burden said in 2002 at a hearing on autism. Dr. Wakefield, like many scientists who blaze new trails, has been attacked by his own profession. He's been forced out of his position at the Royal Free Hospital in England. He and his colleagues have fought an uphill battle to continue the research that has been a lone ray of hope for parents whose children have autistic enterocolitis. But tonight, the message from the BMJ could not be clearer or more shocking. Wakefield research, they contend, has been a fraud. Starting tonight, the journal is publishing a series of articles by an investigative journalist, Brian Deere, who spent 7 years uncovering the bogus data behind Wakefield's claims. I confronted Dr. Wakefield earlier by Skype. Sir, according to this new report, not only did you do a study that was scientifically and ethically flawed, it was, quote, an elaborate fraud. An award-winning investigative journalist, Brian Deere, has published evidence that you, and I quote, altered numerous facts about patients' medical histories to support your claims of identifying a new syndrome, and that you also, quote, sought to exploit the scare among parents for financial gain. How do you respond?
Well, you know, I've had to put up with this man's false allegations for many, many years. I've written a book, and in
but this
that
is
book,
not just one man. This is published in the British Medical Journal.
Yeah, no, and I have not as yet had a chance to read that, but I have read his multiple allegations on many occasions. He is a hitman. He's been brought in to take me down because they are very, very concerned about the adverse reactions to vaccines that are occurring in children.
Wait a minute, sir. Let me just stop you right there. You say he's a hitman and he's been brought in by they. Who is they? Who is he a hitman for? This is an independent journalist who's won many awards.
Yeah, he's, you know, who brought this man in? Who is paying this man? I don't know. But I do know for sure that he's not a journalist like you are.
Well, he's actually signed a document guaranteeing that he has no financial interest in any of this or no financial connections to anyone who has an interest in this.
Really? Well, that's interesting. He should say that because he was supported in his investigation by the Association of British Pharmaceutical Industries, which is funded directly and exclusively by the pharmaceutical industry. So,
according to him, he's received no funding from any parties that have interest in this over the last 3 years. But let's talk about some of the specifics that he is claiming. You're basically saying this is some sort of conspiracy against you. Is that your argument?
Conspiracy is your word. What this is a ruthless, pragmatic attempt to crush any investigation into valid vaccine safety concerns. Not just my concerns. I'm here at a meeting of experts on vaccines from around the world who are extremely concerned about the safety of vaccines and the damage that they believe and I believe is being done to children.
But, sir, there's no proof of that, and your study is a fraud according to this latest investigation, which is taking quite some time. And, sir, let me just continue. It's not just this one journalist who's saying this, who you believe is some sort of a hitman. It's not just pharmaceutical companies or the AMA, and it's not just public health officials from around the world, and it's not just doctors from around the world. It's also other journalists who have looked into your research and found it simply incorrect. Are you saying that they're all in conspiracy against you?
No, they haven't. In fact, they've taken his story and treated it as verbatim, treated it as true. And if you read my book, you will be able to read the truth. And has the BMJ read my book? Have the doctors who apparently looked at all the records read my book? No, because the truth is in that book.
Well, sir, I've read Brian Deere's report, which is incredibly extensive. Sir, I'm not here to let you pitch your book. I'm here to have you answer questions. Brian Deere has talked to the parents of the patients who were in your original study, and he discovered that not one of the 12 cases you claim to have studied was free of, quote, misrepresentation or alteration. In no single case could the medical records be fully reconciled with the descriptions, diagnoses, or histories published in the journal. Some of the parents in your original study say what you claimed about their kids' medical histories was not true. Are those parents now lying?
That is false. He has not interviewed the parents. That is absolutely not true.
So you're saying no parents say that what you've said about their children's medical histories is false?
No, they don't. What I have said and what has been reported in that paper by me and my colleagues is exactly what we saw.
I want to read you some of the other specifics from the report. 3 of 9 children reported with regressive autism, according to Mr. Deere, did not have autism diagnosed at all. Only 1 child clearly had regressive autism. Is that true?
No, it's not. The diagnoses are as they were in the children. I did not make the diagnosis of autism. I did not make up the diagnoses. The diagnoses were taken from the clinical records and reviewed by experts at the Royal Free Hospital School of Medicine.
According to Mr. Deere, some kids were reported to have experienced first behavioral symptoms within days of MMR, the vaccine, but the records documented these as starting some months after the vaccine.
If you read the record that I have set out in the book, you will see the truth.
But sir, if you're lying, then your book is also a lie. If your study is a lie, your book is a lie.
The book is not a lie. The study is not a lie. The findings that we made have been replicated in 5 countries around the world.
Sir, that's not true. You've been offered the chance to replicate your study, and you've never taken anybody up on that. You've had plenty of opportunity to replicate your study.
You just accuse me of giving you a falsehood. I am telling you that this work has been replicated in 5 countries around the world.
Then why has it been completely discredited by public health officials around the world?
I suggest you do your investigation properly before making such allegations.